All right, welcome back. Today we're going to be tackling a job I have not wanted to do. The wiring. You probably noticed from several of my past videos that I've just been procrastinating it. So my winch wiring is just, vice grip to the battery. The ground cable is just kind of tied in there. So we're going to make this all right. I've got a power distribution block. I'm going to take this. I'm going to mount it right there. So I've got a bolt here and a bolt here from this vacuum canister, and I've got a piece of angle iron. Drew my pattern on there. I'm going to take the piece of angle iron. I'm going to set it right down in there. I'm going to set the piece of angle iron right down in there, and I've got to cut it out. I've got to punch a couple holes in it, and we'll be able to mount the power distribution block right there. I want it on this side of the car because that's where the battery is. I'm pretty sure I can get away with it. I'm going to take my positive battery terminal and tie it into there as well, and then get another jumper that goes from there to the battery. The block I got is rated for the amperage, so we'll be in good shape. That way I can get rid of these hokey battery cables that I kind of didn't do it right, kind of soldered that on there and it didn't really work, and yeah, so it's getting me by for now. Anyway, that's what we're doing, so stick around. All right, just like that, we got our bracket fabricated. So cut a little U-groove in it like that. This thing drops down in here. You kind of saw me fitting it. This thing drops right down in here and will match up with those bolt holes. So, and then this piece, actually I still have to drill some holes in it. This piece here will sit on top of it like that. So I'm gonna get this bolted up and we'll go from there. All right, I figure it's time for an update. So it's the next day. I've been working on this, doing time lapse, whatever. While I was at the parts store, I found somebody who was sitting in the parking lot, and he was sitting there trying to fix something. I think it was like a kick down sensor or something like that for his transmission on his truck, and he's trying to put some JB weld on it where it had been kind of divoted out, and I stopped to help him, and he was very grateful. And all I've got to say is, if you find somebody who needs help and you're able to help them, help them. I've been in that situation before, and I'm glad I was able to help. So got him put back together. Anyway, back to this. So I got all my cables mounted on there. They still have to be tightened up. So I got a battery cable here, goes over to the battery. So it's a good one with this, kind of a factory crimp, so I don't have to worry about it falling apart. Then I got my new one here. I soldered into a new copper connector there. And then I got the one for the winch cable here, and right down here have the power for the air conditioning plugged in there. So that'll go on there. Notice all the wires mess that was here is gone. Relay box I relocated to this side. I've got it in here, wired up. I know I kind of coiled I could have cut all these wires off and redone them. I decided against it. Bring the light over here so you can see. Because I do want to leave them in case I need to move some of this stuff. I did put my disconnect switch in. I got my ground hooked up. Hopefully that's sufficient. We'll see. This is going to be where my winch cable goes through. The winch control cable goes through inside. I took and I unpinned the connector. Little connector here goes on the end of the cable. I popped the little yellow keeper thing out of the middle, and then started looking at it, and right down inside of there, there's some little things. I took a little pick and undid them, and now I only have to push this through the firewall instead of that big square thing. So I may even get fancy and go find a grommet if I have to punch a new hole. Also, go inside here. I cut a hole for my winch button. Right here on the dashboard, there's these little punch out holes. I cut one of them out, like it was exactly the right dimension for this button to fit in there. I won't push it in until I get my wire pulled through. Best thing ever to cut holes with, right there. Those oscillating tools are amazing. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get this wire fished through the dashboard somehow, and get my inside winch controller hooked up. Excited about that. I've needed this for a while. The other thing I found right in here, maybe you can see it, there's a little switch. There's that little switch right there. That little switch is turning your check engine light off. These things are on a counter on the speedometer, so the check engine light comes on every so many miles. Mine just come on, and then you flip the switch and it turns it off until it comes on again. Anyway, I'm happy I found that. I've been looking for it forever. I knew it was in there. People told me it was in there. Never found it. I found it today and I flipped it. Hopefully my check engine light goes off. All right, so we're gonna get this thing through the firewall. Here we go. Now we're gonna take and plug our switch here. Let's set the camera down so you can see this. We're gonna plug our switch in here like this. Make sure we line up the pin with the hole. Might get this eventually. All right, we got the switch in. I think it looks pretty good. The light back here so you can actually see it. Yeah. And it looks great. We fished it right through the dashboard there, and oh, look, it's trying to light in my face. You can see me. Turn that off. Fish it with the little fish tape through the dashboard there. It worked out really nice. That's the biggest reason I moved the relay little box from that side of the car to this side of the car, is because I would have had to extend all of these wires on this for this winch switch, and I didn't want to do that. So they were the right length, they all plug in, and I think now the only thing left to do is to hook up the battery. Only thing left to do is hook up the battery and test it all out, see if it works. So let's go do that. All right, battery's all hooked up. Let's just test this bugger out. So first, I'm gonna put this thing in free spool, pull it out a little bit. Let's go ahead and engage it. Turn my switch on. The door here. Ooh, hey, it's working. Hey. Would you look at that? Button inside works. Let's get the winch controller. Hook it up, make sure it works. Winch out. See if the disconnect works. Turn it off. No power. There we are. Power down. So look at that. So that's exciting. Let's see if the tracker starts. All right, she started right back up, and yeah, so that's all. Got it all wired up. I know it took like 2 days, but it's worth it. Now I don't have to sit here and worry about wires all the time. And I got a good battery terminal. It's not gonna just fall apart like the little, these things. I hate these. So, anyway, that's how I wired my winch. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.